Hey there, StarCraft fans! It's Falcon Paladin coming at ya with yet another edition of StarCraft 2 Legacy of the Void and an Into the Void for your Thursday. This is going to be a silver versus gold replay game sent to me at falconpaladin@gmail.com with the subject of Into the Void. Bottom left-hand corner, we have the red Protoss player. It is MarTertius. Let's see, MarTertius. Something like that. And at the top right, we have the blue Terran player, jaromiru. Jaromiru. These are two names that are not exactly rolling off my tongue here, but it's cool. It is fine. It's two lower-level players. I'd like to see every once in a while what's going on down in the lower levels of StarCraft. Who's having fun? Who's doing crazy stuff? Who's forgetting about things like, oh, I don't know, orbital commands and planetary fortresses? And hey, we got some cheese. Officially, these are late. Just so you know, jaromiru, if you're going to go for a proxy barracks, move out instantly. That's the timing that works out to where you have enough resources available to go for a couple barracks by the time your SCVs get there. Because as we'll note here, depending on how this works, you know, maybe this is working out if you have gas. If you have gas, you don't quite have as many SCVs on the minerals, and we're sitting about 300 minerals. This works. If you're just going for straight up proxy Marines, then yeah, send them out faster. You're going to have a ton of resources available. But as it stands, I assume you're going Marauders with the one gas. Reapers would kind of suck, I gotta say. Going Reapers against Protoss seems like a terrible idea. Perhaps never do that. But as it stands, I mean, MarTertius here is just doing standard things, man. He's got a couple extra gateways, actually. Never mind. But he does have a cyber core. Oh, and he doesn't have an expansion. This looked like a one-gate expand for a second when I glanced at it, but nope. This is a one-basing Protoss, which actually does not bode well for the cheese over here. Got a wall in case adepts show up, which, again, it helps a little bit, but the adepts sitting here killing your wall and killing your SCVs as they try to repair it is pretty demoralizing. But this has to be Marauders, doesn't it? And Marauders are so good against everything. They don't take bonus damage from adepts. They really wreck Stalkers. Oracles, they just kind of laugh at. But he is making Marines early. Interesting. Why the gas, then? Let's see what the gas is for. And again, this could just be... I don't know. I felt like trying some cheese. I don't necessarily have a great idea for what I'm doing, which is what's also fun about Into the Void, is really strange builds. He's making adepts. This is like a 3-gate, 1-base adept play where he's not getting warp gate. MarTertius! How are you not getting warp gate? It is only the most essential upgrade in the Protoss arsenal. It is. If you did a ranking with Protoss players, they would all say Warp Gate is the most essential upgrade in the entire Protoss arsenal. Word for word. That's what they would say. Alright, sure there's more Marines because there's no tech labs coming up. What is the gas for? Got an engineering bay and then a factory. This is very interesting cheese, jaromiru. So there's a bunch of Marines, which aren't going to trade super well versus these adepts. I know it takes 3 shots from an adept to kill a Marine. Remember the days when it was 2 shots? And adept all-ins were incredibly common against Terran, and they hated their lives. Those are gone now, which is nice, because, again, it's 3 shots from an adept to kill a Marine or kill an SCV. You used to 2-shot all the things. It was good, but not as good anymore, because it brings the Marines down to 1 HP, which I'm sure you guys all know, and you still do full damage when you're at 1 HP. So 3 shots it is. Resonating Glaives coming in from MarTertius. He just started Warp Gate. Okay. So we have Warp Gate. We're not chrono boosting it. Some chrono boosting has been happening on something because he's not maxed out on chrono. All right, so the Marines decide it is time to go. So drawing a couple of the Marines out, or the Adepts out rather, but not all of them, is kind of awesome. Oh, the Marines. This is good micro actually for Into the Void. We're kind of moving back. We're kiting. Nobody's just moving into death here as the enemy kites them into oblivion. This is a lot of Marines all of a sudden, and nobody's really comfortable with what they're seeing here. If this was a 1-gate expand, I think jaromiru just wins, but that's not what this is. But it's okay, because guess who doesn't have Warp Gate? Oh my gosh, if there was Warp Gate, this would have been so much different for MarTertius. He probably would have had at least 3 more adepts, and that would have made all the difference in that engagement. So these probes are all going to die. I mean, Marine meat grinder against workers is one heck of a meat grinder. That said, holy smokes, the probes are fighting for their lives and winning. They helped immensely there. More adepts come out, lost a gateway, but that's fine. We still have 2. Warp gate's almost done. Jaromiru is down to... Or rather, MarTertius is down to 18 workers. It's 26 back home, and Jaromiru is expanding and working on a tank, as well as a starport. So it's a 1-1-1 build, just late, with a lot of proxy marines to start it off. So, MarTertius, where are your units? Oh, he moved out. He moved out. You can't move out if you're not sure where your opponent is when he was proxying you. Maybe he didn't know it was a proxy. Maybe he assumed the Marines just walked across the map from the other side. Entirely possible. It is. These cannons might have helped, but... Oh, hang on. Hang on. They're kind of scouted. That one is scouted anyway. Once again, probes fighting, but there are no adepts to help here at all. And these Marines, they're dying, but they're taking a ton of probes with them. And that, without question, is your GG. MarTertius, how do you say that? MarTertius is down to 1 probe. And I mean, sure, even if you can clear this out, which maybe you can. This is a lot of adepts, and they have resonating aglaves. Right? So, thank you for coming. Everybody's dying. 1 adept is out, but I think that's going to be it for the adept army. But your economy is in shambles. These cannons are going to help you stay alive. If the Terran player decides just to continue trickling Marines at you, they're just going to walk past these cannons and probably get killed 1 by 1. But there's a tank on the way, and tanks will change everything, as well as a Liberator, which can also change everything. So MarTertius is trying to move out across the map, but the adepts, again, did not learn from the first time that happened, when he got absolutely destroyed while he was away from home. Is that going to be a problem? I mean... Yes, it's gonna be a problem. He's making probes. Still not chrono boosting, though. He's still at 133 energy. He's chrono boosting something. I just don't know what it is. What is he chrono boosting? Either way, tank shows up. Adepts are trying to kill this tank, which is the move speed. It's got to be a tiny bit faster for adepts. You know about Shade? I'm not convinced MarTertius knows about Adept Shade. Okay, well, they're all dead now. And that's a GG. His army's gone, his economy's in shambles, and Jaromiru wins game 1 of our sneaky twofer for You're Into the Void this week. So that was good. That was... it was fine. I mean, poor MarTertius. That's how this game works sometimes. He had the right idea. He just happened to be away from home at the wrong time. I mean, it's all about intel, right? It's all about knowing where your opponent is. Are they proxying? Are they coming from across the map? If you know one of those two things, you can make decisions accordingly. He did not know. He did not know where these Marines were coming from. And as a result, he tried to move across the map. Maybe he would catch them as they were coming across, but no. They were down here. They were down here. They snuck up this way. They came. They murdered everything. All your probes died. And once all your probes are dead and your opponent is on like 30 workers, you're going to have a bad time. So that's game 1 of the Sneaky Twofer. Let's move into game 2 here. Should be a lot of fun too. Game 2 of our Sneaky Twofer is here on World of Sleepers. It's going to be between Sir Snails, which is a fairly standard name, and again, Jaromiru, which is harder to say, but I think I'm getting better at it. Bottom left-hand corner is the red Terran player, Jaromiru. And in the top right-hand corner, it is the blue Terran player, Sir Snails. All right, man, going to be TVT action here. You clicked on this because you thought it was TVP, huh? Ha ha ha. Hey, just check out this TVT. Give it a shot. Give it a shot. TVT is actually a pretty fun mirror matchup. Even if you don't necessarily click on TVT games, let me just show you how fun they can be. Right? TVT is probably my favorite mirror matchup in all of StarCraft 2. You get Battlecruisers a lot, which is awesome. You get tanks, you get Liberators, you get all sorts of shenanigans. Anyway, it's great. Telling you everything is cool. So, what are we doing? That is an engineering bay first out of Jaromiru, which feels to me like he's going to proxy a command center, float it up here and land it and make it a PF, but I mean, you can't because it doesn't have an SCV over there. Sir Snails is playing it safe, going for double gas and a barracks, which again, if you're going double gas early, you have to do something with it. You got to make Cyclones or Thors or rush a Battlecruiser. Well, that'd be a lot of fun. Or something. I like BCs, and I cannot lie. Somebody can finish that song for me, I'm sure. Boy, what year is it? That is... Man, that takes me back to, like, 3rd grade. Which, Not the most appropriate song for a third grader, I imagine, but it was such a cultural phenomenon, it was everywhere. And if something's a cultural phenomenon, kids pick up on it. No matter who it's intended for, kids hear about it, they know what it is. That's how this works. Anyway, Sir Snails is also getting an engineering bay first. Okay, he's making a factory. I love it. Okay, if you're going to go for 2 gas, this early as Terran, get that factory, man. And if you're Zerg, get a Roach Warren. You really can't do anything with Lings and Banelings on 2 gas off of 1 or 2 bases. A Reaper is on the way from Jaromiru. This Reaper's name is Hodor. Hodor! That's right, it's Hodor, everyone's favorite character from Game of Thrones. On the long, long list of just wasted potential in Game of Thrones in the last couple seasons, I want to say one of them, maybe not the biggest one, maybe not something that even anybody else really cares about, but Hodor's death, it never really paid off. Like, you saved Bran's life, right? That's why you died, is to save Bran's life? No, go away, thank you. F. That's where it is. You saved Bran's life so he could, what, be king? So he could figure out Littlefinger's plot and stop him? Like, Bran didn't do anything. And number 2, you don't bring back zombie Hodor. Come on. In a show that is all about just ripping the heart out of the audience, having, like, Jon or Arya have to kill a zombie Hodor would have been insane. Anyway, the Reaper shows up, and Sir Snail's response is to pull all of the SCVs off the line. Which, pro tip of the day, don't do that. Do not pull all of your SCVs off the line when a Reaper shows up. It's bad. Like, you have Marines. Just chase the Reaper with Marines. Put your SCVs back to work now. Dude, this really feels like he's going to lift this, put the starport on the tech lab. Okay, or build your... Never mind. It's not a Battlecruiser rush, but look at him really fast going for +1 attack on these Marines. Great scout, though, from Jaromiru. He saw everything that was happening in here. Meanwhile, Jaromiru, he's got his engineering bay. He is doing nothing with it. No upgrades are complete. He hasn't made a planetary fortress. I don't know what the engineering bay is for if you're going to make it this early. I mean, it's kind of a... Don't do anything in StarCraft unless you're ready to use it kind of a deal, especially if you're Zerg, but it applies to other races too. If you're going to make engineering bays, start your upgrades on them as soon as they're done. If you're not ready to start your upgrades because you can't afford them, don't make the engineering bay yet. It's fairly simple. Anyway, Marines pushing out from Jaromiru, and we're getting medevacs. We've got a tank here from Sir Snails. This is not going to do anything. Jaromiru is going to show up. There's going to be a tank on the high ground. Even sieged, going to be incredible. Not sieged is going to be fine too. And that's going to be it. So this attack is very much fated to be over. The good news for Jaromiru is he has an expansion, and Sir Snails does not. Ooh, a bunker to fall back to. But you know what shuts down this bunker? A tank, like, right here. A tank right here shuts down this bunker. So Reaper shows up. No response from Sir Snails. And gets an SCV kill. Hodor! Hodor, there's a tank, Hodor! Okay. Well, nice KD8 charge anyway. That was cool. Does he know about this? He does not know about this. Is a hidden bunker. Once again, moving out without really having any understanding of what's going on. On his own front door. The good news is... Well, the bad news is Sir Snails has nothing at home to defend against anything. He's got a tank on the way. He's supply blocked, trying to make some Marauders. And a ton of Marines that he's got all queued up. Ooh, supply drop, though. Okay. I mean, I don't necessarily recommend supply drop. The pros don't do them very much. But, if you're supply blocked and you have enough energy for a supply drop, it's worse. I mean, it's better than being supply blocked, you know? So Sir Snails just comes right on in. The bad news for Jaromiru is he has nothing going on at home. Well, he's got a fusion core. Is he making... Oh, he's making a BC. He's the one. He's the hero we needed to make a Battlecruiser. Now, this tank is on the high ground for Sir Snails. Siege it up. Siege it up. Oh, he's trying to rally them. He was trying to rally them somewhere. That's why they were backed up against this corner. So he's microing back home. I mean, Jaromiru was allowed to continue mining at the natural base, so he's not in as bad a position as he could be. Sir Snails didn't siege up his tank. Sir Snails, come home. Sir Snails, siege up your tank. Sir Snails. Okay, he sieged up the tank. He's got the high ground. Widow Mine shot's pretty awesome. And the high ground tank is going to save the day for Sir Snails. That's great. Back home, though, you know what's going to save the day for jaromiru is this Battlecruiser right here. See, I told you TVTs have Battlecruisers a lot. This is what I'm looking at. This is what I'm enjoying immensely. So that causes Sir Snails to go home, but look who Tactical jumped out. And right into the mineral line. There's not enough anti-air to save the day. This one Battlecruiser just won it. He just won the game for jaromiru. This is fantastic. I love Into the Void. Hit that like button if you enjoyed these two games. They're fun. I mean, it's definitely over. There's just nothing here for Sir Snails. He's got like 2 Marines, which is great. He needs some Marauders, which is bad. He's got a tank, which is useless. He's trying to make some Vikings, but he's supply blocked, which is a humongous bummer. His SCV is running for their lives. They could actually build a base somewhere else. Or maybe lift this off and land it over here and maybe build some turrets. Like, honestly, lift this, move it over here, build some turrets real fast. Although this little mobile... Oh, no. This is Sir Snail's stuff. Okay. Now, he knows this exists. He knows there's a natural base. So the income is 0%. That's 0 for Snails right now. jaromiru actually has some income, which is awesome. Battlecruiser comes over, says... Oh, a Viking. Kite it! Kite the Viking! I'm expecting way too much for Into the Void. Way too much from Into the Void. Alright, well, I mean, this Battlecruiser has 26 kills. He is a LeVar Burton cruiser, I'm going to say, for the record. Now look at him get out of there. 27 kills, and now the ground army can move in from jaromiru because he moved those over. Because you notice, he still has production, and he still has economy. And those are the things you need to win StarCraft games. The 2-step process. Have production and have economy. Sir Snails has some economy. He's landing a Viking to try to deal with, 2 tanks and a bunch of Marines, which no. Nope. That's not happening. Not in a million years. And that's your good game. jaromiru. jaromiru is the winner of the sneaky twofer in both games. Good job by him. It's a great job by him. It was a little bit tight, a little bit scary there. An army shows up and drops in your main base, and you probably want to panic, but jaromiru did not panic. He kept it together. He knew he was making a Battlecruiser that would win him the game. And by golly, it did. Where'd it go anyway? Is it coming back? Oh, it is coming back for more. 27 kills on that guy. And I like that he didn't just make the Battlecruiser, wipe out the economy of Sir Snails, and assume that he'd won, right? That's not a good assumption. Always be making stuff back home, just in case you need it. And he did. He needed the tanks. He needed the Marines. They paid off handsomely. And Sir Snails was forced to tap at 9 minutes. What a game. What an absolutely fantastic little twofer here today. Hope you enjoyed it, because that's going to be it from me. So this has been Falcon Paladin coming at you with yet another edition of StarCraft 2 Legacy of the Void, and you're Into the Void. Go ahead, hit that like button, hit that subscribe if you like what you saw and what you heard today. You can also catch me on Twitter, Facebook, Patreon, and Twitch, all at /Falcon Paladin. And until next time, as always, thank you so much for watching, and you take care of yourself.
And so you must run, and it's taken your heart and broken your soul. You cannot go back until you're made whole. And you're running into the void. You go searching into the void. push comes to shove, there's a light upon you, and you follow it on. Looking for a reason and a way to atone. All around you, the planets and stars, you're lost in a maelstrom of a great new unknown. And you're running into the void. You go searching into the void to find a place you can live, a place you can love. Is it just an illusion when push comes to shove? And you're running into the void. You go searching into the void. And you're running into the void.